It's me, Mario!
Mario, a video game franchise that has left an impact on many throughout its 30-year history. I remember religiously playing through the Super Mario games as a kid, with my favorite being Super Mario World. I'm not ashamed to admit that I was a bit of a Mario fanatic back in the day. Even though I wasn't very good at the game, there was a certain charm to it that always kept me coming back to my Super Nintendo. Even as an adult, the classic Yoshi's Island theme never fails to turn me back into an 8-year-old boy. But what if I told you there could be something wrong hiding behind the bright colors and cheery music? Something sinister. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Gaming Scariest, the series where we analyze some of the creepiest moments in gaming to figure out what it is about them that makes your skin crawl. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into one of the most infamous internet ARGs and discover how it turns an innocent platformer into an unsettling nightmare. December 2010. Adam, a frequent user of the website Super Mario World Central, a site featuring hacked and modified versions of the classic Nintendo game, is browsing through the recent uploads. After digging through different ROM hacks, one catches his eye, a hack simply titled Mario. Adam downloaded the hack to inspect its contents. Upon opening the program's folder, he was met by two files, the ROM BPS and a notepad file. Knowing that hackers often left instructions within text files, Adam opened it, but was instead met with a jumble of code. Hidden within the incoherent sequences was one repeated phrase, "Find me." Brushing past the slightly unnerving detail, Adam loaded up the ROM, but instead of seeing the typical Super Mario World title, he saw that it had been reduced to simply Mario. As Adam started the game, he noticed other changes as well. Upon loading the first level, Adam saw that the beginning game message had also been altered to say, "Mario is at it again." Weirder still was that the landscape was completely devoid of enemies and ambiance, leaving the player in total silence, with only the sound of Mario's jumping to break the quiet. There weren't even any coins to collect on this level. The only thing the player is able to do is run and collect ominous advice from tip boxes. After navigating through the tricky cliffs of Leave Now, Adam arrived at the final level titled Go Back. Once inside Iggy's castle, the game seems to completely break down. Ominous text boxes are now completely blank, while Mario is forced to platform over invisible floors. The fight with Iggy is probably the most normal part of this hack, but after his defeat, something disturbing occurs. After receiving this unnerving message, the player is able to move to one last location on the map, Donut Plains. As they traverse the level, the game ceases to function and cuts to black. And that's the end of the infamous Mario ROM hack. Or is it? The true story of this twisted copy of Super Mario World is convoluted at best. The game's scattered text boxes seem to imply that Mario went on a rampage against the citizens of the Mushroom Kingdom, but that doesn't explain the text wall seen after Iggy's defeat. Who is this victim described in what appears to be a coroner's report? How and why is this gruesome description relevant to this ROM hack? Thankfully, those mysteries seem to have been solved for us years ago. After posting his story on the SM Central forums, Adam was contacted by the site's former owner, Kieran. Kieran had gone through the previously mentioned text file and had recognized that some of the scrambled code looked like a JPEG header, meaning that the jumble of numbers was actually an image. After using a hex editor to convert the numbers, Kieran was able to retrieve this image. If you spend any amount of time in the creepypasta community, You've probably seen this haunting image before, but what exactly is it, and where did it come from? While many involved in the initial investigation speculated that the image corresponded with the coroner's report seen in-game, its true origins lie elsewhere. During the investigation, 4chan users were able to trace the image of Victim 1 back to a metal band called Common Man Down. The leader of this band, a man named Jordan Davis, stated that he had simply photoshopped a picture of a random woman to promote his music. But this isn't the end of the Mario rabbit hole. We still don't know what the story of the SM ROM hack truly is. In 2011, the author of the original hack uploaded an additional ROM titled Mario the Super. While the link to download the ROM no longer works, I was able to find footage of the ROM taken very recently by the YouTuber KTB, whose video I will link in the description down below. As you can see, the game's landscape is completely void and empty. All that you as the player can do is run forward, endlessly. However, there's more here than meets the eye. After opening up the game's files, KTB was able to find this message.
Victim 2. Although he was still alive when he was found starving in an abandoned apartment, he died from blood loss on the way to the hospital. The place apparently has no tenant or owner.
As far as I know, there's no disturbing image to accompany this coroner's report hidden somewhere in the files. But a few months later, the author added a patch to the hack, adding completely new levels to the game. Within these new levels, we find ominous phrases such as, "I shaped a new world, and we were the only ones within, but now there is nothing. Come home. I made a cake, Mario, but it wasn't for you. Once we had made it there was nothing but a smile, but the doll wouldn't stop, so we ditched her. I miss her so much." So what do these lines mean? It's pretty difficult to determine the true meaning behind them with such little context from the ROM, but we're not out of options yet. The final message seen in this version of the game says the following.
Transmission begins at 03/25/2014.
March 25th, 2014. I attempted to see if there was anything related to this date hidden deeper within the game files, but again, we seem to have hit another dead end. My theory is that there was meant to be a third ROM hack in this ARG series uploaded on March 25th, 2014, but it's been more than a decade since the author was last active, which only leads me to conclude that the ARG was abandoned some time ago. Despite this plotline never truly coming to fruition, it has somehow managed to capture our curiosity for over 13 years, and in that time, it has inspired hundreds of people to craft stories of their own. I would go so far as to say, without the Mario ROM hack, we wouldn't have gotten recent gems such as Too Late or Mario VHS. But know this, just because something scary can be made for fun, as we see in the case of the Mario hack, it doesn't mean there's nothing sinister hiding behind the bright and innocent veneer of the internet. Be on your guard, because with the internet, you just never know where the next click may lead. We'll see you next time.